The birds are chirping. I might even hear a frog out there. So I'm in the middle of pretty much nowhere. And there is a little old cemetery that has been fenced off. It's a nicer, newer fence. They're trying to preserve these few graves that are here, and the headstones are really destroyed and laying around. Now, people have been coming by and they've mowed around the outside, but no one's taking care of it in here. And I can see that stuff is still laid down from last season. So while I'm out and about, I'm gonna go ahead and try and clean up this area and make it look a little bit better, because who knows when the next time somebody's gonna come out here to mow this. All right, here we go. So I grab my handy dandy steel trimmer and I fling some grass right on the camera, but it works out just fine. I keep going and I'm trying to go low down into the dirt right along the edge of the fencing, because it makes a weird ting 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 sound whenever I was going along, and whoever trimmed it before didn't get deep down in there. So I'm trying to get a little groove for whoever takes care of it next time. It'll be a lot easier. Fencing like this is always a problem for lawn care freaks like myself, but we manage to get through stuff. But whenever we see a lawn that has this or chain link fence, we usually don't want to cut that yard. It can be kind of tedious, but I'm used to it and I'm here to do a good deed. And that's another thing. A lot of people will say, why are you out there doing that for free? You should be making money, never work for free. Well, wrong. Sometimes you just do it to help out the universe. Or people. Sometimes they need help and you can't just charge them. They can't afford it. And so as I go along here and I'm knocking down this tall stuff that they didn't get to last year, I'm thinking to myself, you know, they didn't get back in this corner because they couldn't fit any mower, because the headstones were on one side and there was a big tree stump on the other. So whoever gets back in this corner has to come in with a trimmer, which is a big deterrent to any lawn care service. That's like the hardest part, having to trim an area. So they've been skipping it. Now, back to what I was saying. I'm not charging for this, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think that people, when they cut this, are really getting paid. That's why they cut it like every fourth or fifth cut. Because look in the background. That area, that's mowed with what you call like a tractor and a brush hog, or a tractor and it's got a mowing attachment on the back, and you drag it all the way around. And so this area out here is all rural and remote, and they're just using like farm equipment to cut. Their mowers are too big to get in here. Someone has to specifically load up a mower that will fit in that gate, get in here for this little area, and then you have all of these headstones and tree stumps everywhere, so you can't fit everywhere you should go. And then they get, you know, in a panic or trying to squeeze through an area, and they will bump a headstone, knock it down, break it off, or chip it. And that's what I'm trying to prevent from happening. I'm going to make it easier for whoever comes in here. And I had my small mower with me, so it was the perfect time to help out. For those of you that do not know very much about me, I want to let you know that I have been doing lawn care my entire life. So when I was a child, about 8 to 10 years old, my mother was a housekeeper during the day, and my father worked evening shift. But during the daytime in the summer, before he went in for his evening shift, he ran a lawn service in the 70s. That's pretty crazy. Well, guess who had to go with him, because I was too young to be left at home alone. So I got to see it all firsthand, and I just gradually became his helper. Eventually, as a teenager, he gave me all of the ones in our neighborhood that I could just push the mower to and go take care of them. And then as I got a license and got older, I just took over the lawn service and got my own. He still actually kept a whole bunch for himself, and I found a whole bunch of new ones. But he gave me all his ones that he was sick of the customers, really. And they were also called the PETA lawns. He let me have all of those, meaning pain in the, yep, you guessed it, So I'm used to difficult lawns or situations like this. This is actually an easy one for me. I've had way more difficult. But I know for other people, this would be a big hassle. And so that's where I just step up because I can do stuff like this relatively quick. And I'm so conditioned to it and hard work in general that I kind of enjoy it now. It's therapeutic. And I know there's a lot of people when they retire that still go out and do physical things that other people would think are crazy. Why are you doing that? You're retired. But to them, it's therapeutic and they're used to it and they want to keep moving. So I'm 53 now and I feel like this is second nature to me. So, if I slowed down a little bit more, that'd be okay. But if I had to completely stop and not do anything like this, yeah, I think I'd probably fall apart more than I am already because I am conditioned to this and I enjoy it. It is therapeutic for me. That's what happens when you spend a lifetime doing pretty much anything. It just something that you want to continue on. It becomes almost a hobby, even though it was work. So I did charge all those years and I didn't really do a whole lot of freebies. There would be cases where I would do free ones, but now sometimes I just see something and I just go do it, which I didn't before because I also didn't have the time. But now I have everything structured in such a way that I can go out and donate my time to helping people or just doing a good deed, but that came after doing way over 20,000 lawns by myself. So being solo lawn care, and I added it all up. The first few years I didn't do that many per year, but all through the 90s, 2000s, 2010s and beyond, right? I did way over 50 per week, sometimes almost 70 in a week. If it rained me out the week before, I had a big mess. So I had weekly, every other week, and all this stuff. And so at my peak, I had 72 lawns, and 54 needed done on one week, 53 needed done on a different week, and they were all mixed and matched. And then it would rain, and then they would be like all these other ones due at the same time. So yeah, it adds up throughout the years, You got to start adding up your thousands. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Well, I got about 23,000. Now, right here, I just uncovered a couple headstones that had broken off, fallen down, and they're laying in the grass here. And if a mower was to come back here, especially a big mower, I guarantee they would just raise the deck up a little bit and go over top the whole thing. And eventually their tires will go across it. So that one looked like it had a chip out of it, actually. So who knows what's going on. But once they get to where they're laying on the ground like that, it's only a matter of time before they start to sink in. And like I said, maybe the big mower's tires rub across it and push it down even more, especially when the ground is wet. Then the dirt settles in there, grass starts growing, and they get lost. I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't 3 or 4 more headstones buried in the dirt with grass growing over them in this cemetery right here. That happens a lot. Eventually, I would like to learn how to reset headstones. The ones that have sunken in too far or on one corner, I'd like to learn how to raise them back up. And I'm studying that. But the ones that have broken off like in half, I'd like to learn how to put those back up there, reset those and connect them. And I'm studying that too. There's a guy on YouTube, Millennial Stone Cleaner. And he has a pretty cool YouTube channel full of this. He does those repairs all the time. And he has an email and this program. And so I went ahead and signed up, but I'm currently in my busy time of the year, right? Yeah, I got grass and all kinds of stuff going on. So I haven't got to fully, immerse myself in it. But maybe over the winter, I will be able to learn a few things and I will feel comfortable enough helping out and maybe evening out some of the headstones and eventually even repairing one, putting them back together. When they're broken completely in half and the top half is laying down there, it's such an easy fix if you know what to do and you had the couple proper tools that it's a shame that it might just lay there for another 50 or 100 years. But, I could be the person that puts it right back. So I'm looking into that. Don't be scared to try new things. You know what would be really cool is if I could find someone locally, like in the St. Louis area, within 50 miles of that area, that was going to go out and repair headstones, and they knew what they were doing and they needed helpers. I would go help for free on a weekend, and multiple weekends, and learn the techniques too. So I would be helping them out and picking up the information and knowledge on how to do these in my own area. And that could be a good hands-on way to get this process started. Right now I'm just studying and watching videos. Now it's time to stop talking for a while, turn the mower up, and you can listen to me finish out this project. Then in about 2 minutes, I'll be back on here and we will look at the finished product. There's the finished product. As you can see, I took a few laps around the outside. I got her all trimmed up. Everything's taken care of, and the inside was very lumpy and full of chickweed, plus a few other things that have kind of went to stalk and became real hard and thick to cut, but I still got through it. I was the right man for the job. I wasn't asked to do it. I wasn't paid to do it. I just did it because I felt that it needed to be done. Sometimes you might be the right person for a job. And if you are and you feel that way, I would highly encourage you to don't be scared. Just go for it. Do a good deed. And listen, the birds are still chirping. They're always on your side. And there we go. Now it's time for some before and after pictures. This one, everything is tall and shaggy. In this one, I have went around and trimmed everything. And there it is, looking nice and clean, freshly mowed. And in this one, I even cleaned a couple of the headstones before I left. Stick around if you want to see that. And as always, don't be scared.